I want to continue with the theme of the time of introspection over the winter. Okay, another aspect of that introspection is that it is a really opportune time for healing. Okay, and so I want to lay out kind of a format. In my book that I wrote a couple years ago, I talk about allowing energy in. Okay, and so when we're in interaction, we're talking to someone, say, we allow their energy in. Okay, we do not push away, we do not push them away, we do not push our energy out, but rather we allow their energy in. We allow the energy of the experience in. Okay, the person, the experience, the situation, allowing it in. Then it kind of hits our chakras, our third eye, clear seeing, pure feeling, intuition in the solar plexus. And then we find our call for action. So that's how I talked about this in my book, and how I often talk about it is allowing it in to find your call for action. Well, there's another thing we can do as we allow our energy in. So we're allowing energy in, which is just a good way to go through life. If our heart's open, we're allowing energy in. Sometimes when we do that, okay, we get triggered. Okay, something throws us off and we get thrown off. We go into our stuff, basically. We get angry, or we get scared, or we get, reactionary, or we get judgmental, or we get spun out in some way or another. Okay, and the word that we're calling that these days is triggered, so we'll go with that. I can't think of a better one right now, so we'll go with triggered. Okay, and so what this is in our energy model, we're allowing energy in, and let's just say when we're getting triggered, I like to think of it, it's like hitting a wound, okay? Or you could say it's hitting karma or unfinished business, but I even like, in this case, I like wound better. So we're allowing this in. Someone said something that hurt our feelings, okay? Or it just rubbed us the wrong way, or it pissed us off, or whatever else. And so that's an indication that that energy that came in, it hit a wound. Now there's a real tendency for us to project and say, that person was insensitive, and that may be true, but it's also an opportunity for something inside of us, right? It's like, whoa, it really hurt when they said this, okay? Or it really made me angry when they said this, okay? Or it really spun me out when they said this. Now that, from a healing perspective, that is a prime opportunity, right? I mean, you're getting some real guidance. So then what we can do in this time of introspection, we can do some inquiry, some self-inquiry, some spiritual inquiry, whatever you want to call it. We can ask some questions. It's like, what was that? What spun me out? There's another word for triggered, right? What threw me off? What made me mad? What was really sad? And we can inquire into the nature of the wound. Okay, and so then we inquire, we look at it, we maybe go back and we allow ourselves to feel it, is the big part of the healing, right? We allow ourselves to feel it, we look at it, we nurture it. A lot of times it'll be kind of like this wounded inner child is another way I like to talk about this. And it's like we can reassure, like if my inner child, I can reassure him, right? I can say, it's okay. I got you. Yes, that hurt. Yes, it's like, so we can allow and be in nurture and kind of, give healing energy to, and listen to that part of us. Listen to what the child tells their sad story. We can listen. Some of the books call it parenting the child, right? You could call it that. I like kind of nurturing the child, having compassion for the child. Really important not to get down on ourselves for being triggered, for being wounded. It's like that doesn't help heal the wound, right? What does is okay, inner child, tell me about it. Give it a voice. Well, when she said this, it just wasn't very nice, and then it hurt my feelings, and they're always saying that about me. It's that's listening to that vocal, or to write it, or to tell a friend. Like, give that wounded part, that wounded child or that wounded aspect of you, give it a voice, and listen. And you don't need to fix it, you could offer some solutions to your wounded child. You could say, hey, do you mind if I look into this and this and this? Maybe that'll help. But always ask. Don't get into fixer mode, right? Just listen and nurture and have compassion for and feel and be sad with. Put your arm around your child and go for a walk, and just say, tell me about it, and maybe, maybe the child's even mad at you, and then just say, don't take it personally. It's like, I know, that totally sucks. That's so unfair. Even if your intellectual mind knows that maybe there's some distorted thinking there, like cognitive behavioral therapy might say, there's some thinking errors, there's some distorted thinking. That may be the case, but we're not doing that right now. We're allowing the distorted thinking to be there if it is with the child. It's like, tell me how it's unfair. Tell me, how she was mean to you. Even if it's not responsible or psychologically correct, just listen. And then it's like, I know, that was so uncool of her. It's like, maybe next time we can try this, and let me know if it's hurting your feelings, and, we'll leave, and I've got your back. It's like, it's okay, and I've got your back is the signals we want to send to that wounded part of us. So anyway, that's enough for today. That's my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year to you. I hope you had a great Christmas, and, Happy New Year to you. And actually, now, when you see this video, New Year's will have happened. It hasn't happened for me in the video yet. But anyway, Happy New Year. And, and I hope you enjoy your week. And maybe if you do get triggered or spun out or whatever else, maybe you just take a little time. If you can't do it right then, do it a little later, and just do a little inquiry around it. It's like, what is the owie there? What is the wound? What was the sadness? What is the grief? What is the pain, the emotional pain? Tell me about it. And anyway, I will see you in a week.